What's up, everybody? It's Jesse Ziegler.
And Quinn Cody.
And we're back for another episode of the KLIM Dakar Rally Daily, brought to you by Cycle News, brought to you by all our great sponsors, including Gas today. And Quinn, crushing the wardrobe game again. I don't know how you do it every day.
Yeah, I'm going to run my Gas jacket and fly the flag.
You do that timing so well. Every time Gas is our OEM sponsor, you're wearing their clothes. It's like you work there, kind of.
Yeah, kind of.
What's exciting in the gas world, I know I raced their EC300 at Hard Enduros with Super Hard, which is another video series you should check out probably.
Yeah.
What else they got going on?
The new e-mountain bikes are pretty amazing from Gas. So
they are. I saw those at Supercross in Anaheim behind their tent. Very cool looking bikes with WP suspension, I noticed.
Yes. We have the WP suspension co-developed with DVO, who's a California-based mountain bike suspension company that's been around for many, many years, and they make really the top quality kind of downhill enduro suspension for mountain bikes. And we've got some new technology they put some of the cone valve technology into the mountain bike suspension from WP. So what? Really cool setup. And the new ECC5 and ECC6 are ridiculous. They're probably some of the most insane e-mountain bikes out there.
This is my face is one of astonishment that you know so much about mountain bikes, yet we've never been invited. I've never been invited to go on a mountain bike ride on these new bikes with you.
Yeah, well, it's R&D. We don't let journalists into R&D.
Dude, I didn't know you guys were doing that. I thought you were a street bike guy.
Yeah, mostly street.
But you were at Glen Helen yesterday riding top secret dirt bikes.
Yeah. Still sore.
A lot of suspicious activity by Quinn Cody out there. We have him on the show because he's an expert. And Quinn, you got to give us a download today. We have some interesting things that happened in this stage. It was a short timed special stage, but it was a long liaison, 500K of road riding to get to the start of the stage. Brutal. Why do they do that to these poor people? Why do they make them ride 500 kilometers to race their dirt bike?
The French are just sadistic people, and they love to basically torture everyone that's paid tons and tons of money to come race this race. And I don't know. They could have just probably raced across the Saudi desert. I imagine there's not much out there, so they could have just made a stage for 500 kilometers across the desert. But hey, whatever. Make them ride on the road to the dunes and start the special.
And they're out in what we call the empty quarter now. Empty quarter of Saudi Arabia. It's basically the southeast corner of Saudi Arabia, and it is the largest expanse of sand dunes in the world, correct? Is that kind of how they describe it?
Yeah, I believe so. It's one of the largest in the world for sure. And that's really the reason for the long liaison is they want to transfer everybody down into this empty quarter. And we got some messages from the guys that basically saying, hey, we're losing cell service, that we're getting out in the middle of nowhere. And there really is nothing out there. It's empty.
Back to the heart of Dakar, being a real adventure for these guys that are, they seem like they're all polished and everything racing, but when you get out in the it is extreme and it is brutal. So let's get into the results quick. Top 10 today on the stage, short stage, but sandy, sprinty, really fast. And man, we got a Chilean back-to-back victory 2 days in a row with Pablo Quintanilla coming up on a Monster Energy Honda bike, chasing his teammate yesterday was Nacho Cornejo on the same bike, won yesterday. So man, if you're from Chile, get to racing Dakar because you're going to win.
There's lots of dunes in Chile. So,
yeah,
these Chilean guys on the Hondas are crushing it right now.
Yeah, very impressive. Right behind him, though, Adrien Van Beveren, another Honda, and someone who is accustomed to going very fast in the sand, and he loves the dunes. Only 37 seconds behind Pablo, which is the tightest gap we've seen all race, I think, and also the tightest top three I think we've seen all race, with Toby Price coming in third, only 1 minute and 39 seconds behind.
Yeah, I mean, this was a short special. It was really only 110, 120 kilometers, and so there's not a whole lot of time available. So yeah, you even see the top 10 is within less than 5 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
So
tight racing. Some people that needed to get into the top standings are there, like Toby Price, like Daniel Sanders in fourth. He's only 2:58 back today, and welcome back, Mason Klein.
Yeah,
it's nice to see you back in the top five, getting a fifth today. Pretty impressive.
Mason Klein, after just an absolutely horrendous couple days, he's had bike issues. They had to change a motor. They had to, had electrical problems.
He had to borrow oil from his teammate, and his teammate had to, abandon the race because of it. He had gearbox issues. Like, this guy is battling everything you can.
I think he got in at 1 a.m. on the stage before last, and just really, really struggling. So it's actually pretty incredible. He's worked his way up into the top 5 on a stage, and he's setting himself up really good for the start of the Chrono stage tomorrow, which is
it's a whole nother topic we got to dig into here.
We'll get into that a little more later. But yeah, really, really impressive by Mason. And, he's out of the race, right? Like for the overall, but he can still, he's doing R&D, he's developing the bike, and, he's getting out there, putting on a show for us, really.
Yeah. And he's increasing his fan base every day. There a lot of people on our YouTube channel comments are cheering for Mason to just get back in and fight no matter what happens. And man, he started 55th, I'd say, randomly. I think maybe it was 52nd or something today off the line, or somewhere around there. He was in the back. So good job for him blitzing through the sand to get up there in the top 5. Right behind him, Ross Branch, 6th place.
And Ross Branch taking back the overall lead in the general classification.
Yep. Made some time up on Nacho, knocked Nacho back. Little switch around there. Behind him, Ricky Brayback on the Honda. Solid finish for Ricky after having to lead out today with Nacho. He ended up gobbling up 11 seconds bonus time today, sitting in 7th place on the stage, which is really good.
Yeah, and Ricky also, kind of pulled back in the general classification, so this top 3 is getting quite a bit tighter.
Yeah, when we get to the general classification, a little bit of shifting, a little bit of people moving around, but really just that top 3 is getting tighter, and their gap to 4th is just about the same. So they're looking good. Svitko, veteran of the Dakar Rally, he's been doing this for a long time. Eighth on this day today, and really great ride.
Svitko, I think, has been the most consistent rider of this rally. Like, we've seen him every day in the top 10. Really, I mean, we've talked about him nearly every single day, and it's impressive.
Really great ride by Svitko. Also, next up, Tobias Ebster, which is, historic. He's got a historic lineage here, Tobias does. He's Heinz Kindergarten's nephew.
Yeah.
And if you don't know who Heinz Kindergarten is, he's a legend in the world of KTM, world champion, still highly involved in everything that has anything to do with an orange bike, I would say. And Tobias is his nephew, and he is malle moto, number 1. So he's in the top 10 with the malle moto bike, which is cool.
And I don't know the last time we've seen a malle moto guy finishing in the top 10 on a stage.
That's a good point. It would be interesting to go back and look, but I'm not going to do that now because I don't got time. But it's very cool to see Tobias up there. He is also, I think, leading or close to leading the Rally 2. Today, he definitely won the Rally 2 division, but I think he's competing in the Rally 2 general classifications as well. We'll have to check into that. But great ride by Tobias, like really awesome ride.
Yep.
Right behind him, Skylar Howes, 10th place to round out the top 10. So Monster Energy Honda still stacking these bikes deep in the top 10 and consolidating at the front.
Yep. And, the guy who ended up leading out today, Kevin Benavides on the factory KTM, he finished in 12th. So that was not bad. Considering he had to lead and go from the front. He lost about 6 minutes, 5.5 minutes, and collected a little bit of bonus time. But like we said yesterday, there wasn't a whole lot of bonus time available for him. So it was a bit of a penalty to lead out today. Yeah,
it looks like there was only about a minute total of bonus time available out there. Let's hear from stage winner Pablo Quintanilla, and then we'll get back to the other top 3 too here. So we'll key up Pablo here.
Yeah, finally, it was a good stage after the last 2 unlucky days. I give my maximum. It was not easy because the light was not so good. The sun was up and it was difficult to see the cut, but I give my 100% since the first kilometer, so it was tough. But happy, I was feeling good with a good pace, and I think I did a good stage.
No speed trap today.
No, only was one speed zone in the middle, but I was really careful. Yeah, well, the sun was super heavy. I didn't expect like this because normally was some raining the day before, so yeah, it was not easy. But I also enjoy a lot the day. I was riding and playing with the bike, so it was a nice day.
Ready for the 2 days stage?
Yes, also this position will help me for this 48-hour stage. I have the chance to have a good start position for tomorrow. It's a long day, so it was the opportunity that I was creating, so it was a good day.
He sounds really comfortable on the bike. Sounds like he's ready to rip on this 40-hour chrono stage. And cool insight to him talking about the sun being really intense, and also, no speed zones out there today, which he's been caught out on some speed limit violations.
Yeah, Pablo's been caught out a couple times. It looks like he kind of struggled getting back in the rhythm of the speed zones and whatnot. The other thing is kind of interesting is that with this long liaison in the morning, they're starting the stage later in the day when the sun's really high, and it's a dune stage. And normally when it's a dune stage, they try to start them pretty early in the morning.
I got you.
Where there's a little bit of contrast, right? So if you ever ridden through the dunes at high noon in the daytime, you can't see anything.
Yeah, it's like a snow blind or
terrifying.
Sand blind. Yes.
Yeah. So you're flying off cuts and drops and everything else. So it's kind of a little bit of insight from him for sure.
Very cool. Let's hear from Adrien Van Beveren. We haven't heard from him yet this year at all, but here is the Frenchman on the Honda team about his stage, second overall on the day, 37 seconds behind Pablo.
Yeah, it was a sprint today. I catch Ross about 30 or 40K before the end, and I don't know if I got a little bit, I think I lose a little bit of rhythm when I catch him. I was really fast at the beginning, and then I kind of, I already catch him, this is good, and maybe I got a bit sleepy, but I don't know. I feel really good. The bike is amazing on these conditions. I love dunes, and I worked a lot with Honda the whole year with this new bike to make it really performant, and I think on those conditions the bike is going very well.
The bike is working. No doubt about that.
Yeah, new Honda seems to be set up pretty well, and I think Adrian's the type of guy who waits for the dunes to try to make his move. He's more cautious in the rocks and the more technical stuff like we've had earlier on, and now I think he's in an area where he's a little bit more comfortable.
Got it. That makes sense. Let's hear from Toby Price. Good old Toby. Nice to hear his voice out here because we've been missing you.
It was quite tricky. There was a lot of drops in there, so the liaison section part we had was it would have been quite dangerous in there. So I'm glad they put that in the road book. But after that it was still just as dangerous. So it was, we got through with a decent pace. So missed a couple of drops and got the heart rate up a little bit. But all in all, it's been a good day. We're here, and that's the main thing, because this stage, if you push a little bit too hard, it can catch you out. So, all in all, we're happy. Honda guys look really strong, and Ross looks really strong too on the Heroes. So, we've got our work cut out for us, that's for sure. So, at the moment, I'm just making too many mistakes myself, and all in all, we're just trying to stay in the race as much as we can, but it's. We've got to try and play a little bit of a catch-up game now, and we'll see how it goes.
The KTM team doesn't sound nearly as confident as the Honda boys out there in their position in the race.
Yeah, I mean, he's had a bit of a struggle this last little bit, and he's just kind of been off of the rhythm of the race, and he's sitting back about 31 minutes back in the general.
Which is a good segue into the general classification chatter. We mentioned that it got shaken up a little bit, as you can look at the standings on YouTube. If you're watching, Ross Branch ends up taking over the general lead again today.
Yeah. It looks like he put about a minute on Nacho, who I think had a minute on him yesterday or something like that. So
the top two
was
are
able
just
to
flip-flopping a little bit here, which is exciting to see. Just goes to show how tight this is. There's only a minute, 14 seconds separating the top two. And then we have Ricky Brayback in third, and he actually closed the most time up. He was about 5 minutes back. Now he's only 3:47. So he is gobbling up time and making moves.
Yeah. So this top three is getting a bit tighter. Adrien was able to kind of close up on those guys. He's sitting about 18 minutes back, which yesterday it was a good 21 minutes back to fourth place. So he was able to kind of move within that 20-minute zone, which is kind of the safety zone for these top three. It's like you have 20 minutes, you're feeling pretty comfortable, but you get anybody inside 20 minutes, then they start to become a little bit of a threat.
Yeah, you got to start paying attention to him a little more. I think Adrien got there today, by his big ride. He pulled up some time, but also Luciano had some troubles on the Husqvarna and actually sputtered his way in. We're getting reports, and ended up doing an engine swap today. So now he's tacked with a 15-minute penalty and lost some time today.
I think he lost another 20 minutes today. I think he finished in 49th place. Which
drops him just outside the top 10 in the general classifications, about 45 minutes behind. So to get back into the general, Adrien Van Beveren, like we said, he's sitting in fourth place, 18 minutes behind the overall. Kevin Benavides is in fifth place, 21 minutes back. Pablo Quintanilla, he's 26 minutes back in sixth place. Then we have Toby Price in seventh place, general classifications. He's 30 minutes back, 31:36. Behind him, Daniel Sanders, 37:44 back. Then we have Romain Dumontier from the Dumontier Racing Team, ninth place overall. Really good general classification for him. And then Michael Mishek from the Czech Republic, 40 minutes back. Top 10, rounding it out. So some names that we don't expect to not be in there are not in there. We're talking Skylar House. We're talking Joan Beretta. We're talking Luciano Benavides. These guys are knocked out right now.
Yeah, it's unfortunate to see Luciano get bumped out. Not bumped out, but he's definitely lost a good amount of time. Beretta, he's just he hasn't really been there this year. Seems like he's kind of mailing it in. He's getting a bunch of penalties. He's just not the Beretta of old days who was knocking off massive stage wins on a whim. So
he's got 21 minutes of penalties, and I think they're probably all speeding penalties.
Yeah, I would say so. Seems like he doesn't
respect that speed limit.
Not given too much worry about that stuff this year.
Yep.
The Skylar Howes, unfortunately, he was able to kind of maintain his gap today, so he didn't lose more time, but he didn't gain anything either.
Yep.
So
it'll be interesting. Let's talk about tomorrow's stage, this 48-hour chrono, which is actually going to take over 2 days, but it's one stage, 6A, 6B. The order in which they start is inverted from their stage finish today. So that means that there's roughly 17 Rally GP top-tier racers that are eligible for this class. They will be inverted. So whoever won today, which is Pablo Quintanilla, he'll start last. He'll start 17th off the line tomorrow.
Yeah, that's correct. So, just like you said, they're inverting it. Basically, the idea is the ASO is trying to keep anyone from sandbagging or holding back on a stage.
Gotcha.
And, it seems like it's worked. And, the advantage that gives them is that they can follow tracks in the first half of this chrono stage, which is going to be interesting. We've got
be a
leaked,
mystery.
Yeah, some information on how this is going to work.
Yeah.
So basically, they're starting the stage. It's a 3-part stage with these checkpoints, and then there'll be bivouacs along the way.
Mm-hmm.
And at 4 p.m., the riders are going to get an alert on their GPS that's going to tell them to stop. And then once they come to a physical stop, then an arrow will come up that's going to guide them to the next bivouac that they're supposed to go to.
Right.
They ride to that bivouac.
And they physically have to stop in the desert, wherever they are, when that alert comes up.
Yep.
And then the signal will come in to proceed to the bivouac.
That's what it sounds like. Yeah. And once they reach this bivouac, then they're spending the night out there, right? Yeah. And the stage is still active, right? It's not a new stage the next day. So it's 6A and 6B. Yeah. Once they're there, right, then I guess they can do maybe small service on their bike, but there's no mechanics, there's no crew, they're all on their own. Probably going to be not much, if any, cell service, probably not much media out there. Then the following day, the start of stage 6B, they're going to start in the order that they came in. Got it. So not the order that they finished the first half of the stage, but the order that they came in.
Into the bivouac of whichever one they ended up getting into.
And there's 7 or 8 bivouacs.
Yeah.
So there's a good possibility that these top rally GP riders may not be in the same
location,
bivouac, same location. They might be in
spread
a
out a little bit
different, bivouac, which I kind of hope happens.
Yeah, right.
Because then it leaves a little bit of a question mark for these guys. Like, hey, where's Adrien? Where's Ricky?
Because like we said yesterday, when you get to a gas stop, you kind of look around, look at your watch, be like, okay, I've been here 2 minutes. I started 2 minutes ahead. They're not here. That means I'm ahead of them by however many seconds, or ticking by right now before they get here after that 2 minute mark. And you can do that. You could do that at one of these bivouacs if people were there, but if they're not there, you will just not know what's going on.
Yeah, yeah. And I don't understand how they're going to work the timing still at this point.
Yeah, that's still a mystery. We don't know how
stop the time at 4:00. Then
why does it? Do they reset?
So
I don't know.
I don't know. Maybe they're just going to take the total time of both that it takes them to cover the entire stage. But then there's going to be a little bit of a gap there in the time that they cover after 4 p.m. because they're not going to just stop right at a bivouac. Like, they're going to have to ride some kilometers to get to this bivouac.
Yeah, and what do you do at that time?
That's covering ground.
And where does that time and distance?
Maybe that's free time.
Maybe.
So maybe it's just a roll the dice and gamble and see where it lands.
I like it. It's confusing.
Yeah, I mean, as far as sporting goes and racing, maybe it's not ideal to have just gambling in the middle of it, right? Because these guys are already gambling enough, and
they're already risking a lot.
There's the possibility that a guy could lose 10 kilometers on a stage to another guy, and then maybe that's 5 minutes that they just lose because,
especially since it doesn't really sound that clear. So you don't really know what you're getting into. It's like going into a race and they say, don't worry, we'll give you a result after the race. And you're like, well, how's the race work? And they're like, you just race. Just do your thing. And you're like, well, what if I don't want to do it? Like, how does it work?
Sounds like something I would do to my friends.
It does. Maybe you're French. You got a little French.
I do have a little
French mentality in your head.
Do you like to punish my friends? So I don't have many friends anymore.
It's true. It's very true. I can attest to that. The stage today, we should go back in time a little bit and recap this because we've got some video clips from Daniel Sanders and Toby Price coming into the day and kind of what it takes for them to prep up. So I'm going to play those. You'll get the audio if you're listening to the podcast, but you can just log on to the KTM Factory Racing Instagram and check out these videos of these guys, getting ready for the day and getting through this liaison.
Right, it's going to be a long morning. I'm very excited to get on the road and do 500 and something Ks before the stage. Looking forward to it. It's probably one of my favourite stages, just the road section, so can't wait. Super pumped. Hopefully it's really cold too. I love it when it's like 0 degrees and you sit on the bike for 5 hours. It's so fun. Looking forward to it. And then into June, so we'll warm up really quick and a short stage, so going to be full gas today, and we're going to try our best to get up as high as we can for the stage, set ourselves up good for tomorrow.
That's pretty funny. The sarcasm's running thick.
Yeah, I think Daniel's for sure being a little sarcastic there. It's poking a little fun at having to sit on the bike for 5 hours in 0 degrees and on the highway.
Ooh. That's brutal.
Yeah, I don't blame him. But he sounds like he's in pretty good mood and having a good time with it.
All right, here's Toby Price. Sort of the same scenario this morning.
508 kilometres this morning, and it was probably about 7 notes. So it was a long morning ride, and But yeah, definitely keen to get in some dunes and see what the day will bring. So it's yeah, got starting back a little bit, which will help. But yeah, we got to play a little bit of catch-up game. So it's yeah, we'll see how it all goes. We're excited for it and keen to get into it and send her in the dunes.
Send her in the dunes, and send her he did. It sounds like he was a little caught out by some of these drop-offs out there, which we know how dangerous those can be.
Yeah, sounds like there was one in particular they had marked in the road book, which I think the guys were pretty thankful that they'd had it marked.
Yeah.
But you know, the dunes, it's tough to mark dangers in the dunes because you're just running on a cap heading and there's really no reference. So
yeah,
if your mileage gets off or if you're 100 meters to the right or to the left, it could be completely different.
That's true.
So, yeah, it's not easy to mark a danger in a big dune section. One thing the provisional results just came in, and it looks like they put Luciano as a stage result in 9th.
Oh, really?
So he actually finished the stage reasonably well, and so that penalty for the motor swap looks like it's going to be assessed after the stage.
Oh,
so,
I did read something about that. They don't count it during the stage because he did finish on the engine.
Yeah,
that makes sense.
He'll at least have a reasonable starting position for tomorrow, and he won't have to open the stage.
Yeah. Okay, good.
Which I think Beretta is going to be the guy that opens the stage.
Ooh, bang, bam, bang, bang.
Yeah, which is completely the opposite of what Beretta traditionally does in these big dune stages.
Right. We talked a little bit about the dangers when we talked about the dunes and our boy Toby Price, but we had a Instagram post yesterday, if you looked at it on Dakar Rally Daily, that is gone pretty fantastically, showing the spirit of these guys. And this is this is a Malle moto guy. His name's Libor, and he's from the Czech Republic, and he's a pretty well-known freestyle personality. He's done Dakar last year, which you'll hear about that in this clip too. But he's also a X Games freestyle winner. He's an FIM World freestyle champion. So this guy's been around the block. He's a really cool personality, but you got to see this clip and hear from him because this guy went through a ringer a couple days ago.
Animal.
And he has got the spirit that we love to see.
Malle Moto, you got places to be, so thanks for your time. Tell us what happened.
I had a kind of gnarly crash in the stone section yesterday, and one stone hit me into my face, so I was kind of bleeding a lot. And the boys called me a helicopter because it was looking gnarly. No blood was everywhere on my helmet. So the helicopter flew in. I really wanted to continue the race, so the medic just gave me like 9 stitches there with no painkillers, and I went, keep on going, seen the finish line. Over the night, the blood went into my eyes, so today, I didn't see much. I just used one eye, so it was kind of a rough stage, and I'm happy that I made it in one piece into the finish line of this stage, and hopefully I'll make it to the finish line of the whole race.
I heard you had to duct tape your eye open?
Yeah, I'll try to make it like this, so it's better. But even today, it's right now, I can see I'm sure it's going to be fine for tomorrow.
And did you break your back in the past?
Yes, last year here in Dakar. It's a crazy sport.
And you're in Malle Moto?
Yes, that's crazy also.
Good luck.
Cheers,
well,
thank you.
What number are you?
87.
Perfect, thank you.
Okay.
Cheer for 87, everybody.
Dude, what a beast. That guy. And if you're listening to the podcast and not watching on YouTube, this guy's got the gnarliest black eye with 9 stitches over it.
Yeah.
And he literally duct taped his eye open.
It's a Rocky moment.
Finish the marathon stage, which a marathon stage for a Malle moto guy is no different than a normal stage.
It's a normal day for them.
But guy's an animal.
It's Rocky Balboa of Dakar. Cut me.
Love it.
Dude, the guy's an animal.
I love it. I got stitches in my face at Dakar, but I didn't continue after.
You didn't keep racing.
No, I was
done. You were like, I'm good.
I had other stuff to deal with, but stitches were the least of my worries.
All right. So now as we sit here, these guys are getting ready to head off in the empty quarter, 48-hour chrono stage. We explained how it works as best as we know. They're going to bail off. We actually just got a map in that'll kind of explain that too. We'll probably play that above the clips, but really it looks like, they got this thing broken out into 3 or 4 different sections. There's bivouacs dotted out there in the desert. And we're just going to see how it plays out for scoring. Like, we don't really know how it's going to.
I don't know if we're going to have anything to talk about tomorrow. Like,
it's true.
Are we going to have results after tomorrow? Probably not. It'll just be we look at the timing and be like, well, Toby's here and Kevin's here, and
I don't know.
Hopefully we get something like some coverage. I mean, there's no assistance, there's no media. I mean, there'll probably be some media there, so hopefully we can sneak out some information,
or we get the day off.
We could.
There's no day off.
There's no day off. Maybe we should take rest day off this year. What do you think?
We'll probably do a rest day show.
Yeah, I know. We always do.
We'll do a rest day show. We got people to talk to.
Damn it.
People want to call in and give us their insight. Tell us about their Dakar experiences.
We want to bug these guys on their rest day.
And it'll make our wives happy if we leave the house again.
Yeah.
That's a lie. That's a lie. Our wives are not happy with us again.
No.
This is not good for your marriage. Don't start a Dakar podcast / video.
Well, I wonder how we're going to play this on the Dakar Fantasy Derby tomorrow too. This is something that none of us really thought about, but if we're going to have results, are we picking for the whole stage?
I think you go in and pick for the whole stage, and we won't have results because it's one stage. You got to pick for the overall stage, and then we're going to wing it.
Okay. So it looks like you'll pick stage 6, and that's both stages. That's the entire stage.
6A, 6B, and I'm sure that Radek's listening to this, and he learned so much about the starting order that he'll have this flipped for us before we start, because Pablo Quintanilla will not start P1. He's going to start P17.
Yeah.
So we're going to have
we're throwing a little curveball at Radek today.
Yep. Adrien will be down there. Yep.
ChatGPT can sort this one out.
If his Canadian coding robots up there can get something done for us here. But regardless, you can still pick finish position.
Make your
no
picks.
matter what. Make your picks.
Do it, and
enjoy.
We'll know in 2 days who the winner is of tomorrow's stage.
We will. We got to shout out some sponsors for that. Moto Minded. You'll see their logo at the top of the Dakar Rally Daily Fantasy Derby page. They are hooking us up with that functionality for you to be involved. Giant Loop Moto. It's making great bags. Hey, they just announced their Giant Loop ride in June. You can sign up for that. Go up there in Central Oregon and go riding with those guys.
Very cool. I might try to make it there this year.
Yeah, me too. I'm trying to get a free entry by saying Giant Loop Motos are the best bags in the world, on the planet, in the universe.
That's right.
Fast Company, making those flexi bars.
Yeah.
They're nice. High Desert Adventure, that's your boy Ace Nilsson. He went out on stage 6 last year. He wants to talk to us on stage 6 about his experience at Dakar. And that might be a fun conversation.
Could be.
Jimmy Lewis Off-Road, he teaches you how to ride dirt bikes. Do not take like social lessons from him, but take motorcycle lessons from him. That's my advice with Jimmy Lewis.
Yeah, that's pretty accurate.
Taco Moto, those guys are going to hook you up with anything you could possibly want to throw on your dual sport motorcycle. Like, if you have a gadget or a performance mod, Taco Moto just basically throws it on for you, like hot sauce on a burrito. I made that up. Peak Design's our new people on board. And Peak Design, they are going to be more involved with the show, more involved with content that we're creating at Cycle News, more involved with our Super Hard video series. They make really cool phone cases and phone mounts and phone accessories, but they also make really cool camera bags, lots of stuff. Go to Peak Design, check out what they have. You are not going to be disappointed if you get one of their mounts. This is a little ball mount I have in my hand now. So this mount like a RAM mount. You can mount your phone to anything. This is my phone case over here. It just clips in right away. Boom.
Magnetic.
Done. Super secure.
I like it. I need to get me one of those, Jesse.
Yeah, maybe I can.
Old roached out phone case on here from wherever it's from.
You get me a Gas Factory
Tree
Racing jacket for Gas Day, and I'll get you a phone case.
I'll trade you. You can have this one.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Yeah.
We're swapping out here. What else do we need to tell people about this crazy race that's known as Dakar, Quinn?
Just expect the unexpected. I think it's gonna unfold here in this next couple of days, and these guys are looking forward to rest day. So let's get it done.
Let's hope that everybody gets through this crazy concoction of 48-hour chrono safe. Number one, because it's a long ways out there, and number two, that maybe this top race gets even tighter. I'd like to see the top 10 swoop into the 15-minute range. That would be sweet.
It'd be really cool.
All right. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. And get on that chainslayer.com/Dakar. Make your picks. Later.
Check that out.